who made a solid start to business in the Premier League, just one defeat in their opening 10 matches. Today the opposition, Leeds United, who are the talk of football here at the moment after their most eventful European Cup experiences. The Ipswich team to take on Leeds today with Canadian goalkeeper Craig Forrest, who was sent off in the last game against Sheffield United. His suspension doesn't start until next Saturday. Paul Goddard returns to the attack after missing 3 Premier League matches with a knee problem. Ipswich are at full strength, but only just, because traffic problems close to the ground meant that a number of players did arrive late for today's important assignment. Leeds keep the lineup, which was back to its bouncy best against Everton a week ago. Those the words of manager Howard Wilkinson, whose job now is to stop the minds of these players wandering to Switzerland, where UEFA will rule later today on a reprieve for Leeds after their apparent exit from the European Cup. Stuttgart, the German champions, then admitted fielding too many foreigners in their 4-1 defeat at Elland Road. Stuttgart were thinking that they'd squeeze through on the away goals rule. Well, Leeds United today have a great number of distractions, but they are a very professional outfit, and their concentration will be as total as I'm sure is humanly possible on trying to maximise the rewards from their visit here to Ipswich. But they are humans, and obviously the word from the UEFA headquarters is being waited on here as a matter of urgency. Gary Speed scored a splendid goal against Stuttgart. October has arrived in England with primarily overcast conditions. There's been a lot of rain in the East Anglian area here, but happily on a ground where it has been windswept on a number of occasions at prestigious times. The wind non-existent today, which will suit the technicians like Paul Goddard. Leeds in all yellow. It's a brand new design, it's not a new colour for them. Leads the kick-off. David Elleray had a European assignment of his own as a referee in midweek in Bulgaria. Ipswich wondering whether their opponents today may have been weakened physically and emotionally by what they've gone through over the past few days. We shall see. Here's McAllister. David Batty, cropped of hair these days. Gordon Strachan filling in behind him, who spent a lot of time resting and sleeping since the exertions of taking on Stuttgart. Kiwanya. Jason Dazelle couldn't quite take the ball instantly, allowed McAllister to dispossess him. Scott Sellers. Chapman. Tipped long by Strachan, and Craig Forrest able to collect that without any difficulties. He was sent off here early in the piece against Sheffield United last Saturday for violent conduct the referee said after the game, for coming out and mowing down the Sheffield United attacker, Adrian Littlejohn. Chris White and Chris Fairclough in the centre of the Leeds defence, with Kiwomya and Goddard the main attackers. Dazelle is a danger for Leeds coming from deeper. So a quick free kick by Williams. Batty really in the mould of a makeshift right back, with Leeds still waiting on poor Mel Sterland, who's had to have more treatment to a damaged ankle. Speed beaten by Dazelle. Goddard's in there. It was White's header. McAllister played it a bit too quickly at Dorigo. Stockwell. And McAllister recognising he'd made the error, and Dorigo again not settled. Kiwomya couldn't turn in the cross from Goddard, but Leeds straining a little. And Dorigo was a central figure in that, and it wasn't entirely his own fault, although the second mistake really was his, after McAllister had played him into trouble in the first place. Corner to Ipswich. Great defensive header by Chapman. Williams, and Lukic lets it pass calmly by. Geraint Williams, the Ipswich record signing from Derby County, at £675,000. So many proud performances at Portman Road from Ipswich teams of previous generations, particularly in the reign of Bobby Robson as club manager here in the 70s and early 80s. Thompson with a cross of great height that White judged well, and Leeds have a free kick. Well, John Walk, even at 35, is used in a variety of roles by the management here. The team manager Mick McGivern, John Lyle, who had that responsibility, has moved a step up the ladder, but is very much hands-on. Walk has been used as a midfield man, as a sweeper, as a straight centre-back, as a man-for-man marker, and he's come up trumps more often than not. But the throw goes beyond him and is smacked away by Linnigan, only as far as White. Dorigo's cross, and it was Cantona trying to slip it through for Sellers, who'd got forward. And Lukic keeping his eye on the ball and keeping his head down, making good contact. Stockwell, Kiwomya. The ball was played by White at Kiwomya's expense. Linnigan seen a way out here. Darren Johnson. Goddard through the middle. Kiwomya quickly got back on his feet again. Here's Speed. Now Johnson. With John Lyle and Mick McGivern at the helm, Ipswich are a passing team along the lines of West Ham. Walk occupying a wide position on the right of midfield in the early minutes here, and that's unlucky for Chris Kiwomya. The ball rebounded against him and behind for a goal kick. Well, he knows all about Leeds United. He's a Yorkshire lad from not too far away. He's based in Bradford, but came down here as a 15-year-old for a trial with Ipswich. Left home, not an easy thing to do, but has made his way in football in East Anglia. What a have been a push by Whelan, who got the header without any complaints from the referee. He jumps again now against Cantona. Goddard trying to get in front of Fairclough, and the ball is his. Only for an instant it goes on to Kiwomya. Walk's arriving on the far side, cut out by Dorigo, and having taken the first touch, it was clever play by Goddard to give Lukic no angle to clear, really. He's just had to boot the ball out for a throw. Walk will pump those ageing legs into the penalty area as often as he can. A great record at getting goals from midfield. Dazelle. Cantona. Linnigan bowling over Chapman. A foot was raised as well. The younger brother of Andy Linnigan of Arsenal, and with two more of the family to come, twins who are at Sheffield Wednesday. Chapman got up well. Strachan. Two were waiting to his right to be teed up, Cantona and Sellers. Strachan kept the ball superbly. Cantona dragging Linnigan across. Thompson with room in which to clear, but you could sense the mental anguish for Ipswich then, the way Thompson rather hacked the ball out of play, and Strachan was the prime cause of that. Dazelle. Good jump by Thompson. Well, Williams had got the ball, although Batty was penalised for dangerous play. Kiwomya took some controlling. Oh, well played, Kiwomya. Johnson, the extra man on the far side is Walk. Cleared by speed. Early ingenuity from Ipswich. Linnigan. Leeds trying to hold a square line, and they've done that to get the offside decision. So the second division champions of last May against the league title winners. And a start full of good ideas in a stadium that is impressive to visit, on a pitch that I'm sure the players relish passing the ball on. Batty trying to use the longer variety in that respect, and McAllister had got ahead of the ball. Craig Forrest from Vancouver. Strachan. The inclusion of David Rocastle as a substitute today suggests that Howard Wilkinson might wonder about Strachan's stamina. Clipped forward by Lukic. Chapman's header, control from Cantona. And a foul by Gavin Johnson on Chapman as he played the ball. Chris Fairclough forward, Chris White there as well, with Chapman and speed, and Cantona plenty to aim for Sellers, but he found none of them. Some news of an international nature from Ipswich, that they are about to complete the signing of the Australian international Vlado Bozinowski, who's been playing in Portugal. A push by White on a crafty campaigner, Paul Goddard, who reacted quickly at the free kick. Thompson. Walk trying to come in again and putting pressure on Dorigo. "11 minutes gone at Portman Road. John Walk with 3 goals already this season. takes up his position on the edge of the penalty area. The ball with Neil Thompson at the corner. Linnigan looking perhaps for a flick on. It's certainly over him. Whelan! Well, Phil Whelan, who's only a part-timer here, he's studying accountancy at university, got into the side earlier this year and scored in his opening 2 league games, which is quite a start. This type of impact. And the header here, not troubling Lukic. Whelan has graduated since then to England under-21 status, and he's named in the latest squad to face Norway a week on Tuesday, named yesterday in that. Nicely done by Johnson. Breaking up with Goddard. Johnson on the ball. Thompson. Oh, that's beaten a lot of them, including Walk, who darted in again threateningly. Dozell. It's an awkward one for White and for Strachan, but they both solved their problems with good technique. Chapman, who scored 2 goals the last time Leeds played here. That was in a second division game, finished 2-2. Oh, Chapman really concentrating on making contact with his left foot then. Nicely played by the left foot of Thompson to Goddard, to Johnson rather. Well, David Batty is going to pick up a booking here. But he can't really believe, it certainly wasn't the most substantial challenge that I've seen from him. David Ellery, I think, really turning a deaf ear to any subsequent comments. Batty booked, free kick to Ipswich. The delay as Gavin Johnson adjusted the footwear. He goes over the ball. Thompson takes, and Lukic is able to catch it under no direct difficulties at all. Ipswich with just the 1 defeat 2 weeks ago at Oldham, but they've drawn 7 of their 10 games. Their 2 wins, home and away against Wimbledon. If they could come out on top here, it would be a most satisfying afternoon so far on their return to this level. Batty doesn't want to play it back. Strachan. Chapman gets the second header. Cantona couldn't cope with. It's an awkward one to clear for Forest. The ball bobbling a little, and Kiwamia couldn't keep it in. Already there's been a flexibility in the Ipswich approach this season. A different tactical hand shown by John Lyall and Mick McGivern, as again today they often field the same team but deploy the players in differing roles. Speed's header. McAllister trying to get on the scene, but it's good work by Williams for Ipswich. Neil Thompson, another of the Northerners in the Ipswich ranks. Walk, the Scotsman. Dorigo from Australia, who clears to the Frenchman. Another little cosmopolitan episode in the Premier League. Chapman, terrific work from him, and the shot hit true enough, but straight at Forrest. Johnson lets it run. Goddard. Gazelle, but White able to steer it back comfortably. That's the type of back pass that goalkeepers like to receive now, the headed ones. Cantona looking for some acceleration. Whelan matched him in that. Phil Whelan, although tall and ungainly looking, has a fair turn of speed. Johnson's header went across goal, and then Sellers went out of play. Leeds have lost twice in the league this season. At Middlesbrough 4-1, 2-0 at Manchester United when they had Rodney Wallace injured early in the game and didn't really get going. And of course the 3-0 loss in Stuttgart, which was followed by that 4-1 second leg success, and then all the ramifications of Stuttgart not obeying the UEFA ruling on how many foreigners were fielded, not just on the pitch but on the team sheet of 16. 3 are allowed and they had 4. Well, Leeds applying pressure in midfield, and Gary McAllister, for all the skill that he hasn't been allowed to just become a showman, which is perhaps what might have happened if he'd stayed in the second division. Goddard. And Batty got to the ball against Goddard. Cantona unable to control his header. Overhit by Mick Stockwell, who typifies the versatility of Ipswich, playing at right back here. Against Wimbledon, he got 2 goals as a striker earlier this season. Dorigo. Came off Dazelle, a unanimous decision between referee and linesman. Dorigo with a throw. Cantona again with an artistic contribution. Chapman, more straightforward. Held up well by Goddard. Dazelle had to play that in a hurry. Sellers was making up the ground behind him. Sellers. 20 minutes gone, and that's the signal on the Leeds bench to get the substitutes warming up. That's nothing sinister. This is part of the preparations, meticulous as they are, with Howard Wilkinson's approach to the job. It's borne such fruit for Leeds. They've got a free kick now to get some joy out on the pitch. Ipswich have pulled everyone back, which means Leeds have no worries about who should be defending at the moment. McAllister. Well, such as McAllister's stock risen, that as midfield players go, you'd be hard to better him, the length and breadth of the land. That's part of the talent that he brings to his work, his skill at the set pieces. He's now the penalty taker for Leeds as well, and has scored in the last two games against Everton and against Stuttgart. Johnson, good header, brave header for Goddard. Now Kiwomya. Leeds have got numbers back. All came from Johnson's willingness to compete in the air. Slipped back by Stockwell for Forrest to kick, and as he does so, the flag is up for offside. Well, it deflects Walk's attempted clearance. McAllister was on it in a flash. No signs of tiredness from Leeds as yet. Strachan across to take the corner. Chapman and White waiting by the near post. Cantona, Fairclough and Speed making moves now. But at 6'5", Craig Forrest is really equipped to cope in those situations. Williams, and it was Speed who got back and is ready for the ball again as Dorigo returned it to him. Chapman, McAllister, Cantona way on the far touchline, but not that far. When Leeds seem to be out of the European Cup so gloriously, talk that of course it would suit their Premier League ambitions, give them concentration on the league again. Now, as we wait to hear what happens from UEFA, well, they've got a season still to attack on all fronts, keeping their fingers crossed. And certainly the legislation should be on their side and against Stuttgart. Batty. White using the long legs. Oh, but Sellers hesitated. White's out of position. And it's Goddard for Ipswich. And it's John Lukic for Leeds. Well, first and foremost there, the attacker has to make sure that the very worst, the goalkeeper has a save to make. And Goddard got his shot on target. But Lukic, who's a tall man, had a few difficulties with the height of the ball. But the pace of it was another matter. It's produced a corner. Leeds nearly paying a heavy price for a touch of overconfidence in the last third of the field from their point of view. Oh yes, Kiwomya! Well, the goal didn't come directly from the defensive error, but from the subsequent corner. Taken by Thompson, converted by Kiwomya from very close range. In the 25th minute of the match, Ipswich Town take the lead. And you look at defenders there, but let's praise the quality of the corner from Thompson. And Kiwomya got away from Batty. The header from inside the goal area, Lukic stayed on his line. Chris Kiwomya's third goal of the season, and Portman Road now awash with emotion. The Ipswich supporters who've had to suffer 6 years out of the limelight. So proud to have Premier League football at Portman Road, proud of their team. Leeds looking to repair the damage straight away, and McAllister, if he saw an angle there, he couldn't direct the ball through any gap. And instead of veering in towards goal, it carried on slicing away. Well, teams spend a lot of time rehearsing, not just taking set pieces, but defending against them. But Kiwomya caught Leeds out. But you have to say, it was a heck of a corner from Thompson. He's a great favourite of theirs. All-ticket crowd, and an all-seater stadium for them. Howard Wilkinson looking down, and a lot to think about. The lead side of the director's box, Gavin Johnson needing treatment. Still limping, but the game restarts. And as it would, the ball drops near Johnson. He wasn't going to make an effort to go for it at the moment. It's only when it's absolutely within swinging distance of a foot that he can get involved. He's an important player for Ipswich, up and down the left of midfield. Hoping for greater mobility. Sellers was Whelan defending. The ball returned quickly by McHennigan, Howard Wilkinson's assistant. On the Ipswich bench, I'm sure they're casting their eyes in the direction of Johnson, hoping he'll be able to run off the injury. Williams. Kiwomya hoping for a mistake from Fairclough. Goddard offside. It was Kiwomya who'd made that move to a wide position the moment Fairclough had miskicked. But he'd gone too far forward too quickly. Chapman can get this one down for McAllister. Leeds on their mettle now. Batty. Kiwomya, and not an angle on the header to supply Goddard. They've had some great deeds here at Ipswich in the past. They won the First Division as it was, the very first season that they played in it, in 1962, when Alf, later Sir Alf Ramsey, was the manager at the helm here. Here's White. Might be a break on for Ipswich now. No, White rescued the ball. Stockwell, Goddard, now Walk. Taking it for Kiwomya to chase. Strachan. Here's Stockwell. Oh, and Goddard is one of the best in the game at holding off defenders and screening the ball with his back to goal. Walk apologises for not supporting Stockwell. Well, it would have been a free kick against Cantona. David Elleray wanting to give Ipswich any advantage. A stray one by Thompson. Here's Sellers. Now Dorigo. Batty. Three in the middle for Leeds. Cantona showing on the edge of the area. Batty supporting him. Cantona to supply the cross. And Lee Chapman coming in like a bulldozer then. He stayed on his feet. And defenders were being scattered to the winds. And David Elleray gave a free kick to Ipswich. McAllister. Sellers control that well. Batty the outlet on the right. Cantona. The Leeds constructing their attacks well enough from the middle of the pitch, but needing a sharper edge further forward. Cantona trying to provide that. Chapman. Now Dorigo very quickly on the scene. Cantona goes in. Speed. And Cantona had another effort as he was trying to work out exactly where he was. But concerted attacking play from the league champions. And it hasn't wiped out the one-goal lead that Ipswich have for all the efforts of Eric Cantona. Chapman got to it. Cantona! Chapman was actually technically in an offside position. The flag stayed down. It leads in this new design of yellow and blue. Still looking very much the side that one expects them to be, and capable still of producing something from this game, although the first goal has gone against them. Walk in front of Dorigo. Chapman in front of Whelan. Stockwell. It's a better ball from Batty, the other right back. Now Strachan. Lenigan there first, 2 against 2. And White and Fairclough getting in a tangle. Goddard gets the ball, the referee lets the game go on. Leeds felt there might have been a free kick then. Johnson. Gazelle. Now Goddard. Walk looking for an early cross. It's too long. Thompson. Now Williams. Thompson had continued his run. Strachan had seen that. Kiwamia knocked down by Batty, who's already been booked. And the referee here, the housemaster from Harrow School, David Elleray, has a strong sense of discipline. David Batty better be careful. And that's in the disciplinary sense. In the football sense, the same applies to Leeds United. Facing a free kick now. Can Lukic see anything of this, you wonder? Walk. He couldn't see it. Well, if he did, it was too late. John Walker's made it 2-0. Leeds lose another goal at a set piece. And there's delight all around Portman Road for the Ipswich followers who have seen their team here take this significant game in the Premier League by the scruff of its neck. You wondered about Lukic's visibility, and there's the answer. Walk got the ball past the pack, around the wall, and John Lukic got a big hand on it, but not strongly enough. So the Warrior has hit the target again. The ammunition is still there, and incredibly, with 4 goals, he is the leading scorer for Ipswich. Though primarily his responsibilities have been in defence and in midfield, but when there's a chance to be sniffed out, Walk is often on hand. And Leeds languish at the moment, 2-0 down, with 8 minutes to go to half-time. Dozzell. And still Jason Dozzell. Broken up by Fairclough. Speed. Johnson with the header. Here's Fairclough. Batty. McAllister. Now Gary Speed trying to drive on from the middle of midfield. Leeds have had plenty of the ball in these positions. Thompson. Kiwomya. It's difficult for Dorigo, it's another corner. Neil Thompson purposefully makes his way across. How are Leeds going to defend this time? Kiwomya is in pretty much the same station that he took up when he gave Ipswich the lead. Dozzell and Linnigan in the goal area as well. Bent in by Thompson once more. Knocked out by Lukic. It's Goddard who can clip it back, and does. Williams, there's no one on the right for Ipswich. Well, it would be easy to point a finger at European exertions for Leeds United, but that would be unfair to Ipswich. McAllister. Cantona offside. Against Gary McAllister. And it's not as though in midfield Leeds have looked lethargic at all, but John Lukic has been beaten twice from set plays, and generally prior to both goals Leeds will look at a free kick unnecessarily conceded perhaps for the second goal, and certainly at their play that led to the corner from which Kiwomya started to tilt the balance of power Ipswich's way. So it's at the back that the flaws have been. Well, Linnigan, who likes the lofted long pass, whether from a free kick or from free play, certainly overhit that one. Speed. Free kick to Leeds. Well, there's not a great angle here for playing the ball in. Whether Leeds will try to widen that, there isn't much option for it. Taken by Dorigo. Headed by Cantona. Cleared by Thompson. Kiwomya leading the charge out. Dorigo dealing with the dropping ball. Sellers. Came off Walk. Cantona. McAllister is on it in a flash. Chapman. Strachan wasn't really set up properly by Eric Cantona. The early cross from Batty. Sellers. And the immediate anxieties ended for Ipswich, but they were mounting when Eric Cantona tried to lay the ball off into the shooting stride of Strachan. Sellers. Thompson having to use the right foot, which he's not quite so confident about. Good jump by Whelan. Not an easy man to get above Lee Chapman, as Guido Buchwald found out for Stuttgart. Speed. The linesman was flagging for offside. David Ellery allowing Ipswich to go on. Kiwomya poking it to Johnson. Plenty in the centre for Ipswich. Goddard is one of them. Walk. Oh, Kiwomya's there. Kiwomya hasn't scored. Goddard might. Oh, penalty. Penalty for Ipswich. Leeds all over the place. It seemed that Kiwomya had clipped the ball over Lukic and it was going in, but Paul Goddard hadn't expected that to happen and still concentrated and chased on to keep the ball in play. Down he went, and David Ellery, who was close to the penalty spot, made the merest of gesture towards it, and up steps John Walk again. 2 minutes left in the first half. It's 3-0 to Ipswich Town. It was, in the circumstances, a rattling good penalty, right into the roof of the net as Lukic committed himself the other way. Paul Goddard just kept the ball in here, and in came Batty, and I don't think there was much argument about the referee's ruling on that. David Batty has not had a first half to put into his memoirs. But Ipswich Town have had 45 minutes here to look back on with pride. It's not the full job for the players. The supporters can bask in the sunshine during the half-time break. Mick McGivern will be putting a proper context into his team talk, I'm sure. But the defensive frailties that Leeds have shown on other occasions this season have surfaced again. Batty. Here's Strachan. Oh, lovely play with Batty involved. Strachan's cross, Forrest's catch, and it's stoppage time now. And Craig Forrest will allow those around him on the pitch to calm their exuberance. The supporters are quite entitled to let off steam. They haven't seen too many displays of this profit. Ipswich have been playing well enough, but to get 3 goals here, well, it's more than they could have hoped for. Kiwomya looking for another one. Sellers. Dorigo. Injury time now at the end of the first half. Met well by Linnigan. Strachan, Sellers, Batty. How Leeds would love to get a goal before the half-time whistle sounds. Dorigo. And that might have been it. Well held by Forrest. For Leeds refusing to lie down, it's certainly not in their nature. Dorigo again. Oh, Thompson had to let that run through, really. If he'd touched it back, of course, Forrest wouldn't have been able to pick it up. Well, it's a standing ovation for Ipswich Town as they go off at half-time. And John Walk keeps rolling back the years. So much top-class football left in him, it seems. 2 goals for him of the Ipswich 3. A free kick curved in cleverly as Gavin Johnson made a ducking movement in the wall. The penalty that followed when Goddard was brought down by Batty. Prior to that, Kiwamia's header to get Ipswich onto the right foot. And what a first half for them. Ipswich Town 3, Leeds United 0 at half-time at Portman Road.
You are watching Neo.
Howard Wilkinson down on the touchline for the start of the second half, hoping to get some happier viewing from the Leeds point of view. After 45 minutes in which it hasn't been a problem for Leeds getting the ball, but they haven't been able to use it to any great profit from their classy midfield. And at the other end, well, it's been a dismal showing defensively. And John Walk goes into the second half on a hat-trick. Batty. He will certainly keep his mind on the job. He's a wonderful competitor, but he does go looking for the ball, and with a booking to his name, I wonder whether that might bring him a problem or two. And Chris White wins the goal kick off Kiwamia. If you wonder where Kiwamia gets his natural speed from, his mother, a sprint champion from Jamaica. So it's all in the genes. One thing you can be sure about Leeds is that they're strong enough mentally to cope with the adversities of the first half. Whether they're good enough to get the 3 goals back, it's obviously a tall order in a week when they've given so much in the European Cup. White on from Sellers. McAllister. Strachan with Batty going outside him. The cross was aimed for Chapman. McAllister again. Good work by Williams in the tackle. Thompson for Kiwamia. And it was contact with White in a genuine attempt by the defender to get to the ball, and neither referee nor linesman, both very well placed, saw anything sinister, and Kiwamia wasn't running to either of the officials beseeching for a decision. Poked out by Whelan. Chapman, Cantona. Leeds needing the inspiration that he's capable of providing. Here's Fairclough. Chapman. And Whelan got to the ball. Batty. Terrier-like work from the Welshman Williams Two players from the same mould. Strachan's free kick. Oh, it came off the head of Whelan. Cantona met it more solidly than the defender earlier. Thompson thread it through to Kiwomya, who was crowded out straight away, but the ball broke off McAllister to Thompson again. Goddard. Leeds again moving quickly to get men around the ball when the opposition are in possession. Strachan is the deepest defender at the moment. Well, Strachan will know that that was not a malicious foul, because the culprit was Goddard, who is one of the more genial of the strikers in the Premier League. Well, it's often the instruction to start the second half if you're 3-0 up, as though it's 0-0. Really, in a way, if you're 3-0 down as well, just to try and get a goal and then go from there. He's offside against Cantona, but you certainly feel any fatigue when you're losing much more than when you're winning, and that's the extra vulnerability of Leeds in the second half. Sellers. Cantona, the runner from midfield, who didn't make contact with the ball, was McAllister, and the player who took it from him, Chapman, with a less than deft touch across field. And it's odd how those things seem to happen when you're losing. Goddard for Johnson. Got the better of Strachan. Kiwomya didn't really have the time that he wanted then. Thompson. Williams. Goddard with great vision. This is Mick Stockwell. Dazelle for Walk. Stockwell's got plenty of space. Dazelle off the bar. It could have been 4. Leeds living dangerously. And Jason Dazelle so close to hurting them again. And it spun away off the curve of the bar beyond Kiwomya. Linnigan, well, good footwork required here from Forrest. Oh, what a pass to the head of Walk. And they go from there, Ipswich. Stockwell. Leeds throw off Kiwomya. Well, you think back to the 4 goals that John Lukic conceded earlier this season at Ayresome Park, Middlesbrough. Also 4 goals in the Championship run-in at Manchester City as well. But out of those ashes, Leeds really rose to take the title. Chapman. McAllister making it his at the expense of Geraint Williams. Strachan. Speed's got into the centre with Chapman. Clipped in by Batty towards Speed, well met by Dazelle. White. Offside, Cantona. If Howard Wilkinson wants to make a change of the outfield players on the bench, he's got David Rocastle. As we look again at how close Dazelle came to making it 4-0. David Rocastle and John Newsom, the outfield substitutes. Kiwomya. This is Johnson. For Goddard! Well stopped by Lukic. Leeds might have been thinking that Ipswich were going to fashion a 1-2 for Goddard to slip it back to Johnson. Goddard went for the glory himself and very nearly achieved it. Cantona. Here's Thompson. Under hitting though. Williams. Oh, that wouldn't have been offside. It was critical for Leeds that Gary McAllister got his head in the way. There's no offside here from the throw either. It's Kiwomya, who's very quick. And Chris White, who stopped the shot, getting no further than a yard. For Leeds, in the context of this match, have to take a little bit of a licence. But they won't want to take too many risks, otherwise there really could be egg all over their faces in the final scoreline. McAllister, Chapman, and the ball's rolled in, and Leeds have pulled it back to 3-1. Well, it's one step on the ladder. McAllister coming onto the ball, and Chapman fighting for it with Mick Stockwell, and the outcome is a goal to Leeds. And Stockwell, in trying to cut out the cross, may well have made contact with the ball. Speed with the throw. Chapman. Leeds might have been thrown something of a lifeline. Still a lot to do, still a lot of energy to expend, and do they possess it? Well, the signs are good here. On the say-so of the linesman on the far side of the ground, the whole of the ball had crossed the line. It's a corner. Walk. Good play by White. And in his leggy way, is quite an artist defensively. Not quite in the Cantona class with the back heels. Lenigan. Thompson. Now G'd up at Ipswich. Certainly Leeds are flying at the moment, having scored the first goal of the second half. Still more than half an hour to go. White. Lenigan's header, and White again. McAllister with just the sort of example that the captain should be setting, having retained that armband even when Strachan got back in the side after missing the start of the season. Strachan switching the play. Dorigo hits Walk, flags up for offside in the centre. Well, there's a little bit more optimism down there. John Newsom smiling. Dorigo. For the second time in 4 days, Leeds having to try and repair a 3-goal deficit. At least against Stuttgart they had 90 minutes. Here they had little more than a half, but it's been a good start. Thompson to take the corner. Lukic got to this one. A similar ball from Neil Thompson that set up the opening goal. Lukic beat Dazelle. Thompson can also throw the ball long. Goddard. Stockwell offside. Whelan was the culprit, not Walk who heads it. Well, given that a fair percentage of the game is played in the mind as well as with the feet, there's been a change in the second half to the psychology. Had Dazelle's header dropped in rather than hit the bar. I doubt if Leeds, even Leeds, would have had the capacity to recover. But now it's 3-1. And the referee had a good look at that. Linnigan and Cantona, and ruled it was 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Offside. Goddard, who looks angrily at the linesman, but probably deep down realised that the official was right. Dorigo wasting no time in restarting the game. Cantona. Dazelle. Williams, and well, the signs are still there that Ipswich might improve their tally. Sellers. McAllister launching himself forward again. Chapman at the near post. Sellers coming in. And Lee Chapman looking, it's a typical of the commitment that Leeds have. Gary McAllister really has led by example and roared after the ball to reach it, but Chapman's first reaction was to complain about the cross before it passed beyond him. But we look again here just how the ball got in. My impression was that it went in off Mick Stockwell for the Leeds goal. Dorigo. McAllister. Batty against Thompson. Kiwomya, it was a hard ball to reach, let alone control. Strachan in the right back position at the moment. Cantona supported by Strachan. Oh, it was a pity for him. Craig Forrest, who conceded a goal at this particular end of the ground from 50 yards or so against Tottenham. Just plotting the drop there very carefully. Chapman. It's a mistake by Williams. Strachan. It's come behind Scott Sellers, but he'll reach it and now look for Dorigo. Speed makes a run, met by Linnigan. White. Here's Batty. Walk. Good play defensively by Fairclough. Dorigo's target Chapman. And that's a corner. Linnigan thinking he was being pushed. He had the option of rolling it for Forrest, but the angle was a tricky one. Although he was safe on his right-hand side in that there were no Leeds players there. So it is a corner and another chance for Leeds. And yes, 3-2! Gary Speed! And the recovery is well and truly underway. Well, it has been a full set almost here of set-piece goals. Strachan's corner deceiving Ipswich this time. Chapman making a nuisance of himself. Gary Speed on the end of it. 25 minutes left. And a very different complexion now. And Leeds, renowned earlier in the week for their fight back against Stuttgart, a story which hasn't finished yet, although it may well get its outcome later today. But today's battle on the pitch could be just as fulfilling for Leeds United. It's quite a game, and David Ellery and Craig Forrest pausing as David Linnigan gets some treatment, perhaps to reflect on that. Well, so many sides really would have been finished off by losing 3 in the first half, particularly after the week that Leeds have had. But not Howard Wilkinson's team. Gary Speed, 3-2. Well, Linnigan, who conceded the corner, which led to Ipswich conceding the goal. As Dorigo getting in first. That's been the story for Leeds in the second half. Stockwell. Thompson. Here's Johnson. Well, Ipswich seem to have been caught slightly in two minds in the second half, how best to play it. Now they know they've got to fight and scrap, and a victory that seems certain for them is now by no means that. Chapman. Well, it's certainly Premier fare here in the Premier League. And Dorigo, he's getting overconfident. Things have gone their way for a spell. Goddard. Stockwell out of Sellers, throw to Ipswich. Stockwell. Dazelle. Dazelle, as Strachan tried to trick him, just slid in at the right moment. Lukic lopes out into midfield. Chapman trying to get underneath this with Linnigan. Walk. Cut off by McAllister again. Oh, that's superb work from the Leeds captain. Fairclough launching one. That's a percentage ball if ever I saw one. But it drops on that occasion Ipswich's way. Goddard. Walk. Trying to reactivate Ipswich here. Johnson. And I'm sure he wasn't just trying to roll it towards the near post, but There's only one in the centre for Ipswich, Kiwomya. Strachan. "21 minutes to go. Ipswich Town 3, Leeds United 2. And all the goals have come at the left-hand end of the ground as we look. Walks cross. Oh, Dozell! Ipswich reassert themselves, and John Walk, having scored 2, supplies another here for Jason Dozell, who came torpedoing in and rocks Leeds back. Early cross, fought for and won by Jason Dozell. No time wasted as the cross comes in. "4-2. On comes David Rocastle for Leeds United to replace Scott Sellers. McAllister. Rocastle comes on at a time where the difficulties increase for Leeds. He's waited a while to play in the Premier League for his new club. Walk. Kiwomya. Strachan scuttles to get to the ball and complains that it was the Ipswich bench who didn't let him get to it. And David Ellery siding, I think, with Strachan. Whether any further action is required remains to be seen. The fuss has died down, but you can sympathise with Strachan. Kiwomya. Little give and go with himself. Well, there have been a lot of Premier League games this season where the two teams have tended to cancel each other out. You're not watching one of those here. Both sides have attacked rather better than they've defended. And Strachan sees an opportunity for Leeds to strike again and give the tale another twist. Who anticipated it best of all? John Walk, of course. McAllister. Strachan. McAllister went down perhaps with half a hope that the referee might have thought the Stockwell fouled him. Rocastle flying in, so too was Williams, and the referee's not going to have that. Rocastle got the ball fairly, Williams just got Rocastle. Free kick to Leeds already taken. In from Strachan. Not the best of punches from Forrest, but he was being fouled. No one will be leaving this game early unless they absolutely have to. And there will have been thoughts about that, I'm sure, because many of the crowd would have been caught up in the traffic delays close to Portman Road. Long tailbacks towards London and towards the north where the Leeds fans have come. Well, for their staying power and the stamina in the travelling department, They're having a game to remember unfold before their eyes, and I'm sure wherever you're watching it, you feel the same way. Chapman, Cantona, lovely work from him, and it's a corner. "16 minutes left. A catalogue of chances, 6 goals. Strachan's corner. And having had joy in setting up Gary Speed for Leeds second, too much curl on that one from Gordon Strachan. Williams, Kiwomya, Lukic started to come off his line. Kiwomya was aware of that. Stockwell, Dazelle. Fairclough getting in, then Whelan likewise. Gordon Strachan having to defend on the left side. He's been switched to play on the left with the arrival of Rocastle. McAllister taking up the space that Strachan had vacated. Cantona. Chapman's free by the far post. And Speed roaring into the middle as well. Strachan got to it. Every ounce of energy being expended from his point of view. Williams. He wouldn't back against Ipswich scoring again. Williams to Kiwomya. Breaking out now. Trying to catch Leeds light at the back. A walk! And they were on their feet, hoping for the hat-trick. Wasn't struck true by Walk, but it was still goal-bound until the leap of Lukic. Gary Speed caught him from behind. Well, if the theme of this game is to be continued, another corner will bring another goal. Walk! He's got that gift, the sixth sense as to where the ball will drop. Lenigan. Fitness is a factor for Leeds. They're proud of the work they put in and the way they get themselves physically prepared for the marathon that is the demand placed on players in England. Dorigo. So they look strong, but they still need 2 goals. Dorigo. Speed! Ball up on the roof of the stand, just knocking out a light bulb on the scoreboard. Kiwomya, it's a Leeds throw and Strachan again, quickly across Alan Sutton, his own physio. Got the ball back to him that time. No, how's your father with the opposing bench. Fairclough. Ooh, Lenigan headed it against Chapman. It's run for Ipswich. You need that at times. And time is the enemy of Leeds United here. Walk touched it on. Clever work by Dorigo. Walk. In came McAllister again. He was impeded by Linnigan. And if Leeds could pick up another goal here, how would the nerves of Ipswich stand the strain? A match that seemed to be won in the first half seems relatively comfortable. 4-2 ahead now as we go to the last 10 minutes. Speed. White. Offside. There was an offside in there. Eric Cantona. Forrest saved the ball in any case. And play on is the ruling from the referee. But had it gone in, it wouldn't have counted. Chris White didn't really connect. And you can see Cantona there in the illegal position. Chapman. Strachan in the centre this time. Oh, and not sure whether Chapman was wise to take it from him, but he's got it to Dorigo. And he comes in on the cross himself. Just to prove perhaps the wisdom of spreading the play. Strachan, Cantona. Ipswich by no means convincing in their play at the back at the moment. Pressurised by a concerted Leeds effort. Stockwell, well, we'll use up a little more time. And the best merit of it. Batty's had a more secure second half, but Leeds generally have functioned more freely. Strachan. White. Batty making an angle for him on the far side, but it goes through the middle to Cantona, and the flag is up again. Ipswich are preparing to make a change, maybe just to shore things up defensively. Chapman. Stockwell tucking in. Strachan. Here's Rocastle. Now Batty. Chapman and Speed hurling themselves at anything that comes into the middle. Kiwomya. And that's Neil Thompson joining in to Goddard. Thompson again. It's worth a try, and when you have a hammer in your left boot like Thompson does, metaphorically speaking, of course, well, it's no great hardship coming in on the right and working it onto the left foot like that. Cantona. That really would have ended Ipswich's afternoon on a high note. As it is, Batty tries to give them some more anxieties, but wherever you look, Walk is there doing the right thing. Of a demolition on the Leeds dugout there, inflicted only by the ball, I hasten to add. It only belongs to Leeds for another 7 minutes or so. That's extra time in which they have to score twice. Batty. Dazelle, whose goal gave the cushion. How thick that cushion is remains to be seen. Oh, and Stockwell launching himself at a cross again with Chapman, a la the opening Leeds goal. Chris Fairclough is often pushed up alongside the others when Leeds need a bit of extra force, need to gamble. They're playing with White in the centre at the back, Batty and Dorigo either side of him, and Fairclough, Cantona and Chapman as the three up front. My word, Ipswich have had to work hard here for a success, which again shows great credit on the way Leeds United's players have been brought up and sent out here. Kiwomya, but they could be finished off now. Chris Kiwomya looking for number 5, and Lukic, who's excellent in those one-on-one situations, doesn't commit himself too soon. It was perhaps 1-on-1 and a half, because Lukic had a little bit of help from Chris White, but Kiwomya had really bettered him with the turn. Well saved from a goalkeeper of a very calm disposition. Ipswich's corner. Whelan, a bit of pushing in there. And we're inside the last 5 minutes. Chapman still charging on. Rocastle, half a run at Johnson, who makes him check. Oh, where's the ball? I think it was under the arms of Rocastle, who hasn't been able to win an early place in the side that he joined at the start of the season from Arsenal. Offside. White. Cantona. Every defender has got someone to mark. So much Leeds launching their defenders forward. Their own defenders, that is. Milligan trying to keep tabs on Fairclough as the cross comes in from Batty. It's a short one towards Strachan. And he's a master at squeezing every inch of the pitch for his own use. He's produced a corner. Less than 3 minutes, plus stoppage time, of course. Knocked away by Neil Thompson. Back from Batty. Whelan meets it. Batty again. Kiwomya, speed gets a foot to the ball. Now McAllister. Ipswich not exactly hanging on by a thread, but their fans will be glad to hear the final whistle. Strachan. For pride and professionalism, well, Leeds United deserve the plaudits. Ipswich have certainly played well enough to earn the points, but it's been a much greater effort that they've needed to sustain their grip on the game in the second half. And Strachan and company have loosened it a few times. Off the chest of Linnigan. be Lukic's, undeniably. While the crowd were roaring Kiwomya on. Not a very good kick from the goalkeeper, though. Batty. Here's White. Strachan wanting the ball on the left. White looks in the opposite direction. Rocastle. They've drawn Thompson infield, leaving Batty free, but the ball comes across for McAllister. And Walk again. Oh well, this time off the wise old head. It wasn't quite the accuracy. Time for the corner to be taken and the outcome to be analysed, and then the rest with the referee in terms of stoppages. Oh, and Forrest with a heavy fall that has damaged a teammate. Gavin Johnson realising there's not much longer to go. He saw Geraint Williams come in and give Forrest a little praiseworthy pat there, because in these conditions, if you're the defending team, above all else, you want the goalkeeper to be above all else, and he was. Chapman, Fairclough. Williams got to the ball, but the whistle had gone. And Leeds have another free kick and another chance to improve. Now it's a throw. And maybe now a cross from Strachan, but one that showed a little bit of weariness. Stockwell tried to clear, Linnigan does, and it's Ipswich's ball. If you'd only heard about the Leeds United fighting spirits, you've certainly seen it here in the second half. Dazelle, Goddard, Walk. And playing it over the top, hoping to get Kiwomya away. We're in the second minute of time at the referee's discretion. White. Chapman almost comes down for him. Williams wriggles behind McAllister. A few more seconds pass. Cantona. Now Batty. Strachan. Ipswich have so nearly gained their prize, but it isn't theirs yet. And that's Fairclough getting in the header from Rocastle's clever cross. Maybe the last alarm for Ipswich. Well, there's no offside when the ball drops. Nor now. Kiwomya. This really could put the icing on the cake for Ipswich. Oh, he's put it wide. Having started it all off with the opening goal, the chance for the final word to rest with Chris Kiwomya. Stockwell stopping speed. Still the referee's hands firmly down by his side, no suggestion of whistle to mouth yet. Cantona curves away from Fairclough and Rocastle. And Ipswich with a win to cherish here, but much more difficult in the end than it seemed after a first half in which John Walk had scored twice, once from the penalty spot to add to the opening goal from Chris Kiwomya. But then Ipswich felt what Stuttgart had felt at Ellen Road on Wednesday night, the resolve and indeed the quality of Leeds United. They got 2 goals back, the first going in off a combination of Mick Stockwell and Lee Chapman, the second from Gary Speed before Jason Dazelle just added the insurance that Ipswich were badly needing at that stage. Plenty of other chances as well. Leeds lasted the 90 minutes good and true, and the energies and emotions of midweek hadn't really drained them, and they, in the second half, made light of other distractions as well as they wait for the UEFA decision. But Ipswich have the points. They played well, and in the end they deserved them by 4 goals to 2.